My name is Deborah Wicks LaPuma. I'm composer and the music director on this production. Nobody's Perfect was originally commissioned by the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. and Very Special Arts, which deals with spreading the message of people with disabilities and by people with disabilities making arts for them. So they originally commissioned this piece to write a really fun show for kids dealing with some issues of disability. So this show premiered at the Kennedy Center a year and a half ago, and it's actually going on national tour this year.
Oh, great.
So you'll be able to see that on tour as well. But this is the first production that has ever been done with kids. It's the story of kids in 4th grade. It's the story of Marlee Matlin, the famous deaf actress, when she was in 4th grade. It's sort of based on her life and her experience of being a deaf child in a hearing world. But it's all taken from a very fun point of view of her trying to plan this perfect purple party. And it's got fun pop music score in it. And so we're dealing with issues of disability, but in a really fun and catchy way that's great for families.
Coy Middlebrook. I'm the director. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fantastic working at the Kennedy Center. It was my first time working at the Kennedy Center. It's been a dream to work at the Kennedy Center since I was young. The Kennedy Center is the closest thing that we have to a national theater. So it was an honor and a privilege doing what I do to get to work at the Kennedy Center, and then to work with such a wonderful team and on such a special piece. It's really remarkable when you get a group of creative artists together, commissioned to adapt a book, and then in the process having a really good time with it. Debbie LaPuma is an exceptionally talented composer. I'm sure many people in this community are already aware of that, but I was not aware of her talents until I worked with her last year. And her score for Nobody's Perfect is some of the best young audiences score that I've ever heard. Even some of the best score that I've heard. I've had privilege of being a part of 5 Broadway shows, and her score is top shelf and right up there with everyone's. Nobody's Perfect is unique because it's about a unique experience. It's based on a book by Marlee Matlin and Doug Cooney, and it's largely and loosely based on Marlee Matlin's experience growing up in the public school system outside of Chicago. And she was very unique in that experience and in that environment because she was the only deaf person in her school. So right there, it creates a unique environment. She is unique because she cannot hear, and then everyone else does. Nobody's Perfect will be performed in American Sign Language, in spoken English, and of course, song and music. So we have 3 different languages flying through the storytelling. And that's the language of music, the language of American Sign Language, and the language of spoken English. And unlike what you might expect with some previous moments of sign language that you might have seen with public speaking or even theatrical events, usually the interpreter is off to the side, and this is not the case at all. All 3 languages are completely integrated, and all the focus is meshed together, and so the characters are speaking and signing. The deaf character is signing, but there is someone on stage assigned to be her voice. So it's a wonderfully engaged, creative environment for the performers, but then also for the audience. It's a very engaging atmosphere, what's happening when you have that many languages flying through a story.
I think the challenge has been to going into Alana's voice, being her voice, and matching up my voice with her signs and her emotions that she's feeling, and how she signs it is how I speak it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And have you signed before?
No, I haven't. I learned a little bit of sign, but this has been my first time.
The challenge for me is trying to, again, like Jillian, match up my voice and signing with her. I'm not exactly sure what the rhythm is for the music, for the songs. I have to look at her often so I could understand exactly how many beats there are. This is really, really fun for me. Probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. I think they're awesome. Because they teach us how to move and block, and I've never thought of I'd never even thought of those things before while performing. Really, it's been amazing for me. With the director and the musical director, this is just a first for me.
Okay.
It's been incredibly challenging for these young performers to be a part of this particular production and to learn a new language. And, but like anything with a challenge, oftentimes that brings out the best in people. And I actually just had, right before we were here to have this conversation and interview, I had a conversation with one of the young actresses who was feeling very upset and feeling like there was just so much expectation for her. She has an enormous amount of sign language to learn. And of course, it's a new language for her, and she was, you know, she very much wants to make sure that the deaf audience coming understands her. And so, you know, I had to really sit with her and let her know that she's doing a fantastic job and that we're not looking for anybody to be perfect, hence the title of the play, Nobody's Perfect. So it was actually a really wonderful moment because this is an education program, and this is an opportunity for people to learn and for the young people to learn. And she's very much in a moment in her learning in this particular project where she's up against a wall. And so it's an opportunity for her to know what that feels like, to have all of us around her honor that moment of what it feels like to be up against a wall, and then to climb over it or push through it or walk around it. And that's what I think is critical for any program that's offering the young people an opportunity to see how you navigate moments in your life like that. And so this is an opportunity for her to experience that in a very safe environment. And for her, I think, you know, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, to feel like she's on the other side of that and to feel really good about herself.